It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Come grooving up slowly. He got juju eyeball. He won't holy roller. He got hair down to his knees. Got to be a joker. He just do what he please. Shoot man. That's all I got right now.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe. Nice job.
I like it.
We gave him a challenge and he did it. You sound like you were getting into it.
I was, actually.
It's pretty good. It sounds like the Beatles.
I like it. I like the set. I like the whole look. Hello to you.
Oh, look who's here. It's Wiggle Neck. How you doing, Wiggle Neck? There you go.
And she's back. You good?
Yeah, power outage,
For how long?
At your school or your house?
The boyfriend's.
By myself, because he went to work.
He went to work in the middle of that tornado like I drove in.
How is mom
How's
and
your
dad
mom?
up
How's your
in
house?
Okeechobee?
The gutter is gone. The whole gutter ripped off.
Gutters are
You
gone.
should have a mic.
Power. My friend has no power.
They got no power. It's gonna. I heard that they are putting an army of power people out there. Did you see the trucks?
I heard people came in from New York. People are
At
coming in
20
from all the other states.
Yeah.
I saw them this morning driving north of 95.
They have a mission to get everybody up and going in 48 hours. I don't know if they're gonna get that done, but
Wow.
man, do I really compliment the effort.
I'm supposed to go there this weekend.
You're not going there this weekend.
What are you gonna go for? Just to
Do they
get
have
away?
power?
I was supposed to go.
No, you ain't going.
Baxton's going to Halloween Horror Nights.
On a Sunday. That's what we tell them. You don't believe us. What can they tell you?
Yeah.
Oh, my niece was born, by the way. She was born on Monday.
Congratulations.
How many pounds?
It's not my baby. I don't know.
That's not my baby. She did not push her out.
But she's so beautiful.
She did not push you out.
So you don't know how big. That's one of those life-changing moments that you don't ever remember, and you don't know how you did it. It's like an out-of-body alien experience when you
birthed a bowling ball.
when you birth a bowling ball, pretty much. The bowling ball comes to life.
I can't tell you that I am familiar with that. Check out the sign they changed.
I'm like wondering what you're looking at. The official at official.challenge. What is that?
That must have been something Josh did.
What's official.challenge? Challenger. Okay.
It says Joshua Martin of official.challenger, and our Instagram is that tag, official.challenger.
Oh, so that was you when you were singing. That's your
I'm,
band?
I'm advertising, yeah.
Oh, okay. Very
Joshua
nice.
Martin
Martin, my dream of Jeannie Martin.
of
At
official.
dot challenger.
Very nice.
Very nice,
Nice
yeah.
job.
Thank you, thank you.
It's like the,
I'm on screen.
it's like the billboard in New York City. Oh, look at that! They even got it up there now.
Very cool. Lots of things changing. Anyway, happy coffee day to you. Happy National Coffee Day. It is Thursday. What a week.
Yes, and we got through the storm. That's why Josh Play come together, because it's about time we get back together, back to business.
It's been a couple weeks here is all I can tell you.
It's been tough. It's been tough.
But we got through it, and hopefully our thoughts, our prayers, blessings to everyone who got affected by the hurricane. So far, I've only heard of one fatality. I'm hoping that's all it is. Not always one is too many, but guy went out to lower his pool apparently out in Daytona area.
Did you see that?
I was getting dressed and I heard it, and he got
He did
swept
it in
away.
the eye of the storm. No, they found him face down in the pool. He got out in the eye thinking the storm had passed, and the back end came in and drowned him.
So sad.
Don't go out. Then there was a lady, she was doing the news, right? And she's in a puddle of water. And they told her, don't go in the puddle of water. So here comes the crew to do the electrical. And they're like down the street and she's in this puddle of water. You can't be in the water.
Let me ask you about media. Why would they send out the reporters? And we talk about this every time.
They want to cover it.
In a storm,
Yes.
holding on to street signs, and the wind and the rain, and it's rushing in, and you're thinking, why would you do that?
Because you want to be seen. You ever seen them? And they can't talk because their face is full of sand or tree bark, and there's a cow that goes by. And then, but we're here, we're strong, you're about to get hit by a
I mean,
moving
some
house.
of the coverage was ridiculous. There's a guy out in one of the mobile park homes, and he holds up a wind meter. And he goes, and the wind now is 4 miles per hour. He says, but it has gone up. And I'm thinking, this is news.
This is
newsworthy. Wait, it went up to 28.
I had a guy, I
what?
saw a lady go, let me hold up the wind meter. It went that way, 149 miles an hour. Let me hold up the wind meter. And there it goes.
You know, 24-hour coverage is crazy. You see their earpieces, you're seeing the wires behind their shirts, you're seeing the women, their dresses, nothing's tucked in, the wires are just hanging everywhere. You totally lose perspective of the whole
kind of fun to
situation.
watch, but it's funny
when you
to
watch
watch.
it. Well, it's funny for us to watch it, I guess.
It's the best thing is when out of towners, like people from Arizona that I know, and Chicago, people that I know, like my niece. Well, how's the hurricane? So I wrote back with a picture of it. It says, she's doing real good. Not us, but she's doing real well. No, dummy, I mean, how you doing? I says, well, what do you think? I'm in the midst of a hurricane. Well, you okay? I don't know, let me check.
Chuck says to me, a plant fell over.
You
Okay.
should put it on the news.
A chair fell over this morning. Okay. The neighbor calls yesterday. She's texting Chuck, and he calls her, and the whole thing. You got to take the basketball hoop down.
Why?
Now, this was last night after it had already hit Naples. It had already moved through. So he runs outside, and I looked at him. I go, listen, I cannot help you. You're either on your own or you find a neighbor to help you take it down.
That has cement in the black can. That ain't going nowhere.
He took it down. I'm like, okay, now you got to find someone to help you put it up because I
He took it down after the storm.
Yes.
So he goes out when the storm is over.
I was
And
driving.
there it
in the
is,
storm.
laying on the floor.
Keep it down till the end of
You can't get it back up.
You know,
And when you get it up, it's going to be like this.
he says, I'm not sure if it's going to be workable after I take it down. I'm like, okay.
So why'd you take it down?
Because the neighbor apparently told him to take it down. What am I going to tell you? Anyway, we laugh about it because fortunate everyone over here is okay. And the damage, the tornado damage, I think has been worse than the hurricane damage, what I've seen. There's
The
flooding from
tornado
the
damage,
hurricane. I mean, you saw fire departments flooded, right? You saw it just came right up, and they're walking through hospitals in boots, and the flooding is unbelievably crazy. Then they're going to have to go do mold remediation on everything because the water's going to hit the walls.
You know, if you are a truck that delivers mail, I noticed, the mail truck is in the middle of the ocean because all of it is underwater.
I'm surprised they didn't stop all the mail and everything for the day.
Why wouldn't you take every vehicle you can and put it on the second floor? Like mail trucks.
I don't
things
understand.
like they do in the Keys. Now, has anybody heard anything about the Keys? Did the Keys get destroyed? Or?
I have a client who's stuck there for now. The roads are washed out, but that's all I heard.
See, the Keys are people, they're already used to this, so they boom, boom, boom. But what happened on the West Coast, they have a speed up deal that shows the water rushing in. It looks like a movie.
Did you see the bridge? What's the Tampa Bridge? The Sky Bridge?
It was going like that.
Wow.
It's
The
going
amount
like
of
that.
water. Then the Aaron told me there was someone got a shot of when the storm came in, it sucked out all of the water
Tampa Bay goes
from
down.
under Tampa Bay. It was dry.
Yes, because the storm sucks it out.
And then it pulls it up. That's how you get those, like, what are those, cyclones?
Like 16 feet of
I don't know if
water.
any of you, if anyone who's running the board can find that shot, but he said it was like when, must have been like when the Jewish people, we left Egypt, and they say we crossed the water.
I was looking for Moses.
Yeah.
I think it must have been either low tide or it was a storm, and everything got sucked up and the water was dry, so we were able to cross.
And you could see the ocean all the way down there, but when it comes back, you better not be standing.
Yeah.
That's 16 feet. Can you imagine? This is about 12 feet.
And that's when it took the Egyptians out.
It took the
Sorry.
It took the Pharaoh.
It took
This is
Pharaoh
12
out.
feet. If you add 4 more feet of water, you're looking at what's coming at you.
Can't even imagine.
And can you imagine something that tall coming at
Yeah.
you?
I saw the Sanibel Bridge was washed out. There are people like stuck
They're
on
stuck on
Sanibel
Sanibel
Island. They
Island?
can't get.
What did I tell you? Isn't that where our friends are?
I texted her.
Or Sanibel and the
Sanibel
On the West
Coast.
Coast. Yeah.
Yeah, I spoke to her. She said they're good.
Okay.
But I spoke to Lady N, and she said it's just scary, it's bad, and I haven't heard from her. And I haven't heard from her since. But I'll
It's
check
funny.
in with her.
My son and his wife and my grandson came over. Now Gio's very stubborn. I can say that because he's not here yet. And I kept sending him pictures of what's coming, pictures of Puerto Rico, because I still have not fixed the issues in Puerto Rico because I got nobody to help me. It's not like here. And I kept sending it to him, and somebody whispered in his ear, "You got to go." Now Gio got some information, secret information that told him
He told me he was in an evacuation zone. He had to leave.
AB. Yeah, but where did he get the info? He didn't tell you.
I said, your father said, he goes, is that what he told you? He said, we were in an evacuation zone. We were in zone B. We had to leave.
Yeah. He was not leaving.
But it's nice that he's here. The silver lining, right? The silver lining is you get a nice long week, because I think they're staying through the weekend, Sabrina said,
Oh, good.
or at least into the weekend with your son, your grandson, and your
I
daughter-in-law.
know, I got to find something now to do because everything got dried up.
But everything's dried up. Go have
Have you
some
seen
fun.
those like fake news reports on Facebook with like orca whales like swimming down the street and sharks? And have you
Fake
seen any
news?
of those?
I did see the sharks.
The sharks in the news?
Yeah, they're supposedly on the West Coast. There were like sharks and orca whales like swimming down the streets of Naples and Fort Myers.
It's crazy.
know how
I
true
do
that
remember
is, but
growing
it's
up. Well,
kinda
you weren't in Florida. I was growing up as Hurricane David came through. And our streets, I was a kid, I must have been in middle school. We had to take the boat out. We had like a little rowboat in the backyard on the lake. And that was how people would get down the streets. It was so bad. I'm assuming Naples is going to be the same way.
Yeah, looks pretty bad.
But I'm glad you're back. We've got our good friend Rebecca
Thank you.
Kastin of Rebecca Kastin Coaching joining us.
Now, she has a story.
She's got a lot of stories.
She had a bad incident in Italy, right?
Well, I got out before they had a major weather event and a rail strike, so I came home a few days
Before
early.
we get into all of that, number one, is there a drought going on over there or not?
In Italy?
Yeah.
There actually was. They didn't have a lot of rain all summer, but when I was there, it rained.
They didn't stop raining.
No, we had some beautiful days. We had a couple of rainy days, which they needed, but the weather was magnificent.
How was the trip? Your
The trip
first big
was incredible. I was gone for a month. Just being
Lucky her.
kind of out of normal routine for a month was phenomenal. Italy is magical. Can't wait to go back. I ate everything, did everything, went to every museum, tried food that I've never eaten before in my life. I even had coffee, which I don't drink at home. I had wine and limoncello, which I don't drink at home. Pasta every day. It was the greatest trip.
You loved it.
I loved it. I can't wait to go back.
How was it being on your own?
So the first week in Italy, I was on a yoga retreat. So I was alone, but not really, because there were other ladies there. But the time that I traveled by myself, it was great. It was kind of interesting to be with your own thoughts, but mostly there's no one else you have to take care of. It was just all about me. I wake up in the morning. I could decide what I'm going to do, where I'm going to go, what I'm going to eat. I got used to eating dinner by myself. At first, it was kind of awkward, but it was great. It's nice to take some time by yourself for a while.
It's a change of perspective, at least for a mom, right? Here you are, a single mom, raising your girls, doing what you got to do, and then suddenly it's just you.
It's just
you can
me.
do anything. You can sleep. You cannot sleep. You can eat. You cannot eat. You can work out. You can hang
Yeah.
from the ceiling, and you don't have to explain yourself to anyone.
Exactly.
Is it weird?
Well, part of the reason for scheduling this trip after I dropped my youngest at school was I was afraid to come home, because I've had a child in my house since, my oldest is 30, so for 30 years. So coming back after this trip, I thought I would be like grief-stricken, but I actually
Look at
like
her. She
it.
does not look grief-stricken, does she?
I actually
Well, why
like
would
it.
you be grief-stricken?
Because all my babies are gone. So,
What babies? You
well,
said
they're not
30.
babies anymore, 18, 21, and 30, but I've been taking care of someone more
So
than
get
half
a
my
puppy or
life.
something. A turtle.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy. The food in the refrigerator is mine. I don't have to buy any food that no one else, that other people want to eat. No one eats my food.
So you're living alone now with nobody?
I am living alone.
All the birds are gone? All the
I love it.
chickadees are gone?
I love it. I can make my bed or not make my bed because I don't have to set a good example.
But before,
I can make
you
dishes,
left,
not make dishes.
before you left, were they living at home?
My youngest was still at home. I dropped her at school in Boston, and then I left for Italy.
Oh, I didn't understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like a whole new.
This is my next chapter, empty nester.
So now when you come home, how long you been home?
I've been home about a week. A little over a
And
week.
what you been doing for a week?
Catching up on sleep because of the jet lag situation.
You've been sleeping for a week.
Sleeping really good.
You came into a hurricane.
And
so that's
working,
fine.
just trying to get my clients up and running again, working on some new projects. I'm actually writing about my trip. I'm finishing up a psychology of eating course. And one of the premises of eating psychology is when you eat in a very relaxed state and you're not stressed and you're not thinking about good calories, good food, bad food, and you're not restricting, you could essentially eat anything and you will not gain weight. So that was my research for my Italy trip. And when I tell you I ate everything,
And you didn't gain no weight.
I lost 2 pounds. So
Well, maybe quantity, the amount.
quality, I think, is more food.
Quality?
Well, food quality. Their food is much cleaner or more organic. Nothing's packaged. There's less preservatives. Also, portion size or portion sizes. Like a bowl of pasta is this big, and and they have lots of courses at a meal, but all of them are,
Small
they're
portions.
smaller. And you have to drink Prosecco before you eat,
Of course
because
you
apparently it opens up your stomach. And then you have to finish with some limoncello, because that apparently closes it. I don't know.
You gotta love it. So all the little travel packs you took with you, did you use them?
I ate them all. I did. I ate them all when I traveled on the trains. We took a lot of little day trips into the country. I always had my packets of almond butter, and it saved me because a lot of the people I was traveling with on the retreat, they, ate stuff that I wouldn't be happy eating.
Would you do it again the same way? Would you take your snacks,
Would
pack
you
the same
change
way?
anything?
Yeah.
Would I change anything? Well, yeah, I think I was overly concerned about getting COVID because I have not been sick in over 3 years. So I brought immune support up the wazoo. I didn't need any of it. So I think in terms of that, I wouldn't pack as much of that kind of stuff, like supplements and medications in case I should get sick. But in terms of packing my little snacks and stuff, yeah, I would do that again.
And did you meet George Clooney on the plane?
No,
You
he
didn't
wasn't
spend 8 hours
there.
talking
I
to him
wish.
about.
No,
he
but
wasn't
next
there.
time I'm going to Lake Como, so I'll knock at his door.
That was the last show. When you go on a plane and you put your glasses on, your hoodie up, and you go to sleep unless George Clooney is sitting next to you.
Yeah, George wasn't there. I have a feeling he has his own plane, but.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Rebecca more about her psychology of eating. Let's look at some of the food. That was amazing. Give us a call, 888-994-4995, Studio A, and we'll be right back.
I got nothing.
You got it.
Planning for the future should not be painful and needs to be discussed. From health, family, finances, allow qualified professionals to aid in your planning. Luhu Advisors have been serving South Florida for over 30 years. A licensed real estate broker, insurance agent, assisted living administrator, and certified senior advisor, Paul Solomon is the most qualified and well-rounded advisor for any task. Specializing in real estate, long-term care, life insurance and annuities, Social Security, government benefits, and senior housing. Luhu Advisors. Let us help you. Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Welcome to Movies of Del Rey, a family-run movie theater that has been serving the Del Rey and Boca community for over 30 years. Open Wednesday through Sunday, Movies of Del Rey offers great admission prices, low concession prices, and quality customer service. Movies of Del Rey provides the quality of the big box theaters without the price tag. Movies of Del Rey provides new Hollywood content as well as new indie and independent movies. It truly is a hidden gem. Whether you're hosting a private event, party, or fundraiser, or are looking for your next date night activity, Movies of Del Rey is the perfect choice. Come on down to Movies of Del Rey, located at 7421 West Atlantic Ave in Del Rey Beach, or visit us online at moviesofdelrey.com.
Le Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties. Open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
All right, I'm going to try this one. I don't know how it's going to go, but... There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruins of many a poor boys. And God, I know
Nice job. I like it. I kind of feel like you need a desk over there, like a sidekick kind of. We toss it back to you and, conversation type of desk.
We talk to you about the influences of the music you pick or in the news, things like that, like they do on David Letterman.
Exactly. I like it. All right, we're going. Nice job. Happy Thursday to you. Yes, Thursday's our late music night. Tonight we have a special episode coming to you on Night Train. It's going to be a 1-hour show with JC Dreesen, kicking it off with JC Dreesen live at 7, followed by her hosting the Cafe Night Train tonight at 7:30, right here live at the Brooklyn Cafe Show Studios. If you are in the area, come on by. Just stop on in and see what's going on.
You should
Some
sing
great
tonight.
music.
Cricket. I hear nothing but
You
cricket.
heard nothing, right?
You should do it. Break it out. Listen, you came back all refreshed.
Well, my house is empty now,
Yeah,
so
so now-
I'll practice my singing now that there's no one in my house.
Rebecca is just like this huge role model for overcoming obstacles.
That's why I asked her to sing tonight. Rebecca, now you're on the spot because we don't give in to fear. We go.
Because people know you now as you do coaching,
I do.
which is great. But nobody knows your story of where you came from, this plush, picture perfect, marital. I married the rock star, the everything, the life, the picket fence, the two and a half plus kids.
Yeah.
And then what happened? And you picked yourself back up in
I did.
what you've done and achieved and traveling and raising 3 incredible girls
you.
and your grandma and all these
Not a grandma yet.
things coming along
Not a
the
grandma
way.
yet.
Coming. But her daughter's
It's coming. Not
it's
yet.
coming. Her daughter's
Who's the rock
married,
star?
and
Wait a minute.
like the perfect picture marriage.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
it
well,
was the rock
that's, some people have that, and I think that's fantastic. Most of us, have this childhood dream of that, and it does not always come through for most
I did
women.
it twice.
I was reading that article yesterday that said there's a universal marital hate situation going on.
Well, there's just an article I read that said couples that never have children are happier than couples that actually have children.
Really?
And also there's a lot of millennials now that are choosing not to get married. They're just living together and
having pets.
happy pets, yeah.
And I read an article that if you get married, there better be a lot of scratch. Otherwise, there's going to be clawing. So
Well, you're writing an article that you said about the psychology of food.
Yes, I am.
And you also sent some pictures over. So while we're going to write about the psychology of food, maybe we can pop up some of those pictures.
Sure.
What about the psychology of eating?
So everything that I do is really based on my own life experience. So, ex-dancer ballerina, child that grew up in the 80s, perfectionist. Everything had to be perfect because that's, how we were raised as women and girls back then. And I struggled with eating issues my whole entire life from 16, 17 until I was in my 50s. Yeah, that was homemade ravioli.
You made that?
No, that was served at Locanda Gallo. That was the retreat center that we went to in Perugia. And every night we had homemade, and every day actually, all the food came from property. They had a garden that they grew all of their vegetables, most of their vegetables, and everything, their eggs, everything was local on the property. The food was really great.
Now, I want to get back 1 second to the diet thing becoming so important. Is it important in your estimation, or is it important because of other people saying that you should lose weight and things of that nature?
So growing up, it's just messaging.
cameras
It's messaging that we have been, boys too, but mostly girls, that to be lovable, to be loved, to get married, to have any worth, you need to have this perfect body. You need to be a certain
Well,
size.
who said that?
Society, the media. If you open a magazine, now it's changed, over the last, a couple of years, but pre,
Pre-2000,
pre the Me Too
1980s,
movement,
pre-
it's been, if you look in a magazine, all you see are tall, thin women. tiny.
Okay, but I'm trying to get to a point here
Yeah.
because I've run into so many women that tell me this, and I want to know who's saying what. If you see a magazine and they got beautiful women, number one, you want to have beautiful men and women in a magazine because you're selling something. I mean, you know, you're not going to have me displaying clothes.
Your hot
or-
dog shirt.
But
No.
that's not real life. Like most people don't look like supermodels, you know.
Right.
So girls and people have been conditioned to think that the only way that they have any value is if they're size 2 or 4.
But who sets these
So
conditions?
diet culture actually started in
Diet culture.
like late 50s, early 60s.
Okay.
When things started to shift and there started to be a lot of more push towards having this like ideal body of losing weight. The first diets came about, I think, in the late 50s, early 60s, telling women that the only way to be desirable to their husbands or to get a husband was to barely eat and weigh nothing. So after a while, girls have just been indoctrinated. I mean, now girls at 4 years old will say that they're on a diet because they hear their moms talking that way.
Wow.
So, so that's something that I grew up with, restricting food, different eating disorders, over-exercising. I would go from diet to diet thinking, okay, if I'm a vegetarian, that's healthy. If I don't eat meat, or if I'm a vegan, that's healthier, or if I cut out carbs. But what you get stuck in this diet culture, and anytime you tell yourself you can't eat something, it causes low-level stress in your body. So you can restrict everything and still gain weight or not lose weight. So my new philosophy, based on the teachings of my teacher, Mark David, at the Institute of Psychology of Eating, is that when the body is in a relaxed state, not in a stress response, it knows how to assimilate and metabolize calories correctly. So, for example, most people eat, they work through lunch, right? They will eat at their computers, they eat at their car, they stand when they eat. This creates a low-level stress response in the body. Your brain can't tell the difference between I have no time, so I'm eating in my car, or there's a lion chasing me. Your brain doesn't know the difference. So your body starts thinking, okay, we're under attack. I need to hold all this fat and all these calories because I don't know when I'm going to eat next. So and that's how we gain weight, or we are unable to lose weight, and that's how we get digestive issues and things like that. So his theory, and I tested it on in Italy, was if you eat in a relaxed state, if you sit down with a plate of food and you take your time and you eat slowly, and you don't say, okay, I'm going on this trip and I don't eat dairy and I don't eat pasta and I don't drink wine and I don't eat dessert, you're going to be stressed on your whole trip because it's part of vacation. It's part of, eating the foods of the different cultures that you visit. So I went to Italy saying, I'm just going to eat whatever's put in front of me, as long as it's something that doesn't really gross me out, like tripe that I didn't eat. I'm just going to eat it. And I did. And the food was incredible, and it was clean. And there were I had no thoughts in my head about, well, I really shouldn't be eating this or I shouldn't be eating that. It was just about being there, being in the experience, enjoying the food. I ate pasta every day. I drank wine almost every day. I don't drink at home normally. I ate dessert every day. I ate focaccia every day. And I came back and I lost 2 pounds.
Because you were having a good time.
I was in my bliss. I was so happy and so excited.
See, I'm a firm believer that if you enjoy food and the company, I eat tripe. I can make you tripe, you wouldn't even recognize it. It's delicious. I make it with codfish. But the object of the game is as you walk in and you have this mental, see, you plan to have a good time. Mm-hmm. A lot of people go on trips and they're like, and they're so caught up in everything that they got to bring. 17 suitcases for a weekend. Heard the stories. That you just forget how to have fun.
Yeah.
See, you're having fun now.
I'm enjoying life, yeah.
So that hot dog, which I'm pretty sure you don't eat hot dogs, but if you ever did, you would say, this is the most delicious hot dog you ever had. Mm-hmm. Now, it may not be, but you're enjoying it. They take pictures of the food down my arms. I don't, but I don't care because I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying having fun. Braxton is this way. This is what I love about this kid. This kid makes fun of everything, and he loves cooking, and he's cooking with chaos. It's Braxton. And I can see that this whole, I mean, I saw when you were going to leave, you were very happy.
Yeah.
But you're a completely different person.
I feel lighter. I feel like a weight has been lifted off of me. Like being in diet and food restrictive mentality for most of your life it's heavy. It's heavy, and most people live their lives that way. So, I just decided a little while ago, even before this trip, but I really went all out, that it doesn't work. Diets don't work. If diets worked, we'd all, have perfect bodies and so it's just, there's no burden.
Too much stress and perfect.
No.
We have a woman, she's coming in tomorrow. You met her last week, and she's in recovery from addiction. And her addiction is bulimia. And she said people do not realize that an addiction can be an eating disorder.
It is, yeah.
And how she's got eating disorders. Her sister has disordered eating, the difference of that. But her addiction was bulimia and her substance abuse to get the bulimia. So she's going to be in tomorrow, and we're going to talk about some of that. I think she's going to create a show as well and some things around it. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah. No, I love the fact that you've come back, and I love the fact that you're going to show people that it's okay to be okay. Everybody thinks that there are all these standards. I never understood that. I remember my first wife was like that. And I said to her, honey, if you're going to hang out with me, this is in New York City, and we're going to dinner at 11, 12 o'clock because that's when we used to go. I said, if you're going to hang out with me, you're going to have a long haul here of being Miss Perfect, because she used to be Miss Perfect. I mean, forget about it, not wanting out of place. I used to laugh and make fun. That's probably why we got married, because we were so different. And then she came over to my side, and she had fun. She kind of liked it. Then she went back to her side. I don't like it.
Your side is fun.
It's always about having fun.
You always have fun.
Yeah.
He does.
You have to have fun.
And you should always eat things that you don't think you're going to like.
Try
it depends
everything.
on how, like tripe.
Well, that I just couldn't.
All right,
the
so
way they made
let's
it.
go back to some of the foods. Now, that was a serving size, the ravioli. There were, what,
So
5?
that was maybe there were 4 ravioli in there.
And that's the
That
size.
was part of a 4-course meal.
4 raviolis?
That was a 4-course meal.
So this was the first time you had pork.
That was the first time I had prosciutto, and I really like it.
Prosciutto is the leg meat thing.
It was really good.
like
So that picture, we went to this medieval castle that was built in 900. I always forget the AD or before Christ, whatever
AD.
that.
Oh, BC.
BC.
BC. Okay, so BC before Christ. Sorry. So yeah, we had lunch there and a wine tasting, and that was, I think, that might have been one of the things that they served us. I can't see from here.
So you had the
A
prosciutto.
new perspective on food.
A totally new perspective.
You
on
never had
food.
prosciutto before?
No.
Really? Are you a vegetarian?
Well, I was a vegetarian, kosher, vegan, so now I'm.
Now you're trying different things?
Now I'm a flexitarian.
Josh, you think you were limited on food. Imagine being vegetarian, kosher, and vegan. There's nothing left to eat
a lot of
except
greens.
sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
But it's
well, no, because going back to all that, I mean, even now, because I'm a little stressed out of doing a lot of more stuff, being vegetarian is hard.
Of course
I
it
can't
is.
keep up with the protein or the energy level.
It's
now.
hard.
When I had nothing going on, I was just at home, just doing whatever. I felt in the greatest shape of my life, but being here and working, and then going home and trying to do band practice, or going home and just trying to do something else, it's a lot.
You don't have enough energy.
Your brain needs food.
I need,
and it doesn't mean that you have to load up on eating a cow. I'm saying small bits and pieces
Even
here
just
and
an
there.
egg. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna put chicken back in my diet.
Chicken is good.
I'm
Eggs.
The prosciutto is good. I'm going to introduce you to pork. Yeah, pork?
Well, I did. I went on a nighttime walking food tour of Trastevere, which is it's part of Rome. It's become, it used to be where the Pope sent the prostitutes and the outcasts, and actually the Jewish ghetto was there back, way, way back then. But now it's like a Soho, right? So it's all restaurants and shops. So I did a nighttime food walking tour. We stopped at 7 different places. One of the places was a porchetta shop, where it was basically roast pork sliced on this incredible like pizza bread.
Pita bread.
It was like pizza, almost. I don't
And
know.
they had pulled pork.
It was so good.
So you haven't had a pork chop. You haven't had a shoulder or anything.
No.
But these meats, when you try them, I'm not saying you gotta eat like. I'm just saying a taste. You're
It
gonna
was a
say.
taste. It was a bite.
What's
You're
this,
gonna
soup?
say, holy
That
smokes.
is a leek and cheese like tart, and it was like it tasted like a cloud.
Wow.
It was
Like a
and-
who?
Like a cloud.
Light.
And
fluffy.
everything there was grown in the gardens: the leek, the potatoes, the green beans.
Wow.
And that was also one of the meals we had at the retreat at Loconda.
A lot of taste.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
New perspective on food.
Yeah.
Josh, I'm glad you're changing your perspective on
Yeah.
food.
Little by little, and you ain't gotta rush it. You just have enough protein to carry you along.
That's it.
Little by little. One thing I looked up too, because I was not, I guess I wasn't the greatest vegetarian in the world. It said processed vegetarian food will cause more lack of energy or more cause of depression.
It's true.
More than eating fresh produce and all that. And that's not what I was doing. I wasn't eating fresh produce at all. I was just eating these like frozen Morningstar chicken sandwiches for dinner every day. And you're not eating meat or animals or anything like that, but it's not the greatest substitute.
Yeah.
They even say the Impossible Burger or some of those burgers, you're actually better off eating the meat if you think unless you're a vegetarian, than all the process that goes on and the chemicals that make it look red, that
true.
make it look like a hamburger. There's so much stuff in it that you're better off having the pure vegetables from it.
You're better off having, honestly, a grass-fed hamburger
That's
than
what they
a
say.
fake burger. It's full of all kinds of processed stuff, chemicals, highly inflammatory, bad oils. You know.
And your body can actually process the grass-fed hamburger, even with the extra calories, better than it's going to process
The
the
truth
other
is
burger.
like the Impossible Burgers and things, some of them have more calories than a regular hamburger.
A lot more.
So it's not, you're not really, no one's really gaining anything unless you really like don't want to eat animals for, ethical reasons.
When I was on Weight Watchers, the Impossible Burger was like 40 points. A regular burger was like 3 points.
Yeah.
And I used to say to the instructors, why? And they go, look it
It's all
up.
carbs, there's and
Look what they
fat,
put in it.
and there's very little protein.
Interesting. Oh my gosh, what is
Oh
that?
my God, that was a warm, like lava cake.
Mm.
It was so good.
She loved the food.
I love the food. I was going to say earlier, when I work with my clients, especially my weight loss clients, and, week after week, they're like, oh, I was great, but I had, I was bad. I had a slice of pizza, or I was bad. I've been so good all week, and then I just needed a hamburger and French fries. They get really like no reaction from me. I'm like, that's great. Like just so people know, like it's not all or nothing, right? If you know that if you're on a weight loss or any kind of health meal plan, I don't even want to use the word diet, and every once in a while you need that pizza or you need to have that scoop of ice cream, then you're more likely to stay on a healthier eating plan than if you eliminate all of it. And when you start to eliminate all of it, that's when you fall off the wagon, you binge. So there's room for all of the foods that you love.
Always.
Like a 90-10 or 80-20. You eat clean 80,
You can't do
90%.
a program without or feeling guilty.
No.
You feel guilty, you're not doing it right. You have to do it. And remember that your lifestyle, I mean, he's a good case in point. If you have gone from not moving a lot to being highly focused because you're moving a lot, now you're burning more energy. And believe it or not, thinking takes energy because it transfers into your body. So
Absolutely.
you got to change in the game. You got to make adjustments. The weekend, if you're going to be home, then you go be a vegan on the weekend. And remember we used to say be a vegan?
A little vegan?
A little vegan? Be a little vegan. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That worked for me. What happened was when COVID came along, I couldn't find the foods because I didn't want to cheat on
On the
stuff
quality,
on
right.
the quality. So that changed.
So
But now,
if you're going to plan a diet, I would say you follow mostly a plant-based diet. Like you want to have the bulk of your foods plant-based because that's where you're going to have the cancer-fighting properties, the antioxidants, the plant medicine, like all the good stuff is in the plants. And then, your meats, your dairy and all those things, that's sort of like, a condiment.
would you have a salad before your meal, and then that helps reduce the amount of intake
Yeah.
you're going to have?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've started to do because my problem is that I see food and I want to keep eating.
Yeah. So
But
loading up on fiber first, like the vegetables.
salads first.
Yeah.
That's what I started
But
doing.
I noticed in Italy, they serve the salad at the end.
At the end.
Yeah. Maybe it's a way of
Interesting.
cleansing the
No, they
digestive
just want you to
system.
spend money on the meal.
All right, let's take a commercial break.
That's really what it is.
888-994-4995. It is National Coffee Day. When we come back, 10 fun facts about your morning brew. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
When it comes to investigative services, you can't settle for inattentive or irresponsible services. PI Network of Florida is a firm that you can rely on for actionable insight for personal or professional matters. From surveillance and insurance claims to background checks and identity theft, the investigative services are extensive. With over 30 years experience and 2 decades of serving the community, PI Network of Florida is trustworthy and reliable. Call today at 786-768-4394. Trust your gut. Trust PI Network of Florida.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40-plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
What would you do if you had a broken bone? You'd go to the doctor and use your insurance, right? What would you do if you had a serious problem with drugs and alcohol? Most people do nothing until it's too late. Your insurance can help you get clean and sober with the assistance of a place like the Detox and Treatment Helpline. Many times treatment is fully covered, so why not use your insurance to treat your addiction problem just like you would if you had a broken bone? And with the Family Medical Leave Act, you're allowed by law to take off time from work, and your employer doesn't need to know the reason. So there are 2 good reasons. You've got insurance you can use for your addiction problem, and with the Family Medical Leave Act, it's completely confidential. Call us right now and save a life.
Call 855-350-4504. That's 855-350-4504. Call 855-350-4504 now.
If your family is suffering from inflation and high costs caused by Lois Frankel's reckless policies, Republican Dan Franzese is clearly your best choice for Congress. Dan is a successful businessman who understands finance and economics. He's not a politician. Dan grew up blue collar and knows how tough inflation is on working families. Dan Franzese will go to Washington and fight the liberals who are killing us with inflation. Dan Franzese for Congress.
I'm Dan Franzese, and I approve this message.
Artist Rosie Sherman
paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
This portion of today's show is brought to you by the Brooklyn Cafe Show Coffee, made with organic Arabica beans.
Hello, my name is Christine, and today I am sharing 10 coffee facts for National Coffee Day. Okay, so the first one, I think everybody's aware of this, but it's that you can overdose on coffee. I know Freddie was talking about it earlier, how cold brew can kill us, but according to this, it would take about 30 cups of coffee in a short period of time for us to actually die from coffee. But another fact is that coffee drinkers actually live a lot longer. So continue drinking your coffees and forget the haters. And then we have another one that says Starbucks opens an average of 2 stores per day. So they have 29,000 locations around the globe. And 47 years ago, I think, they started their first one in Seattle. They launched their first store in Seattle 47 years ago. And another fact is that the most expensive coffees are made from cat poop and elephant dung.
Cat poop and elephant dung?
Yes.
Well, your show is coming in a nick of time.
Oh, no wonder no one drinks. Oh.
Okay, and another fact is that 1 cup of black coffee only has 1 calories. So that's pretty good. And that decaf does not mean caffeine free. It has 1 or 2 to 12 milligrams of caffeine. So, and then we have multiple people have tried to ban coffee. Back in 1511, leaders in Mecca believed it stimulated radical thinking and tried to outlaw the drink. We also have the fact that Brazil grows the most coffees in the world. I think we know that. And Americans spend an average of $1,092 on coffee every year. So $3 worth of coffee a day.
How much?
A
year?
$1,092.
Per person? $1,000 a year on coffee we spend? Not Freddie. Freddie spends what, $1 a month? How do you do that?
You buy it.
And the final fact is that you should not drink coffee at night.
Yeah.
When does nighttime start?
When the sun goes down?
Around like 5.
So after 5, you shouldn't drink coffee?
Yeah, it's not good for your brain.
It's not good for your brain.
It slows down our melatonin production. Yep.
Really?
And that's all.
Interesting. National Coffee Day. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
There you have it.
Now she has me all curious here.
What are you looking up?
The cold brew.
I wonder what the #1 way people drink coffee is.
Cream and sugar, probably.
Right?
Yeah.
And the amount of calories in the cream.
Well, I said
Christine.
she said a cup of coffee has like 1, 2 calories, 5 calories, whatever you said. And then you go to Starbucks, you put like the syrups and the creams, and then you've got like 1,000 calorie coffee.
Right, you've got a frappe with the sugars, and you put some whipped cream and the heavy milk. Even coconut milk. Do you remember, I couldn't find the coconut milk, so I bought a coconut milk creamer in it, and it actually gave him chest pain. I think there was so much sugar in it it was making you sick, that coconut milk creamer.
Yeah, like I say, you buy it and I drink it.
I couldn't find anything else, but at that point I would have been better off with just regular milk.
Just regular milk.
Than a coconut creamer.
Yeah.
Well, and again, you know, I was just reading. I guess when you drink coffee, your metabolism speeds up. Things change. Even your blood pressure speeds up. So it stops you from wanting to eat all the time because you're on the go, you're on the move. And you think you're having a cup of coffee and you're not eating your proteins, and all of a sudden you do that crash and burn.
I used to do that thing to lose weight, you just drink coffee. So I tried that for a while. My heart didn't like it so much. Even young, it was not so good. Then I tried a hot dog and ice cream diet. That was like a thing in college. Grapefruit, hot dogs, and ice cream.
Cabbage soup. Did you do the cabbage soup diet?
I've tried the cabbage soup diet. I think I've been on Weight Watchers. I've tried that. I've tried lowering carbs, and that works for about a week until I go back to eating my carbs. I just can't sustain any of it.
Dawn, you eat, whatever you eat for dinner fits on my palm. 1, 2, 3, and you're done. You don't eat a lot of food, so you should eat regularly, just with your amounts, you'll be fine.
But
and you're always working on and running.
But there's different things to it.
Gotta have fun.
But you're right, because it's this whole thing, I gotta work out, I should eat better. And it's this pressure that we put on ourselves to be, and even if you're size 2, it's still not thin enough, right? Then you're like, oh, my 2 should be big.
Right. We put too much pressure on ourselves.
I'm excited for your show. What's the name of your show going to be?
So I'm not sure. So I have this wonderful Facebook group called The Well-Nourished Woman.
I like that.
So I'm thinking something like that. But I don't want to, exclude men.
Yes, I'm very excluded.
How about The Well-Nourished Soul?
The Well-Nourished Soul. That's going to be the name of my show.
Good,
I like
because
it.
I was very excluded.
I wouldn't want to exclude you.
No, we don't
I
want
was
to
going to
exclude
crash the party
anybody.
anyway.
The Well-Nourished Soul,
The
right? So it can be
Well-Nourished Soul.
food, emotional support.
Everything. Yeah, that comprises, when we think of health, we just think of diet, exercise, but we really need to look at our wellness, like look at us from like a holistic point of view. Our food, our movement. I don't like to use the word exercise. Like, how do you like to move? Exercise makes it sound like you have to do it. Movement means, I love dancing, or I love rollerblading. So then you do that.
It's all about the balance.
Walk on the beach. You don't like to
Walk on the
exercise, but you would
beach,
probably love to go, not in the middle of a 2 o'clock summer day, but at sunset or sunrise, go walk on the beach just to see it, but not necessarily to be in the sun.
You know, it's really funny. There's different types of exercise, okay? And when you're constantly on the go, I've discovered that you better sleep. I only sleep 6 hours, which is a problem. I should get 8 hours, and I know the difference.
They say 7 to 9.
Yeah, well, 8 hours. 7 to 9, the middle is 8. But if you don't sleep, you're going to have other issues. And what happens is, in this business, we are constantly on the go, either physically, mentally, or something else. Because you're constantly looking for another deal, another progression, helping hosts and everything else. So it's not easy. She does it. She'll get on the phone on her treadmill and run all over the world. And you hear her.
I try to keep it on mute till they ask me a question, then I hit unmute.
So I ask 100 questions because I know she's running.
He did that to me on Saturday. And he's like, can you go on this call now? I'm like, sure.
And she's running, and I hear it. So, and I'll ask her, I says, man, this ice cream sundae is delicious. I'm not having one, but I tell her.
He says, you were on the treadmill. I go, how do you know?
Because you can hear it.
Because I guess you could. Then I turn the trainer down on the treadmill, so like you don't know I'm on the treadmill, but.
And then she's running out of breath. You know, she's.
Imagine having like
at least you're getting on the treadmill. You know, even in your busy day, you're finding time to do it, even if it means
multitasking. She walks in, she goes, everything hurts.
The older we get, exercise changes, but you want your body to respond like it did when you were younger. It doesn't.
It won't.
It doesn't respond the same way. The way you exercise doesn't work the same way because our body doesn't feel the same way. But that's a whole nother episode, I think a whole nother segment to your show.
A whole nother segment. Yeah, every 10 years, our bodies change and our metabolism changes. So.
That's right. And I give you a lot of credit. I really do.
Because I
Anybody who does it, I give a lot of credit. But my way is the fun way. I rather go and run to a table and have fun and take like small plates. My stepdaughter teaches me small plates. Right now, I'm not a small plate type of guy. I see a small plate.
And you fill it a few times?
I go, how many times am I going to eat this small plate? 15?
Mayor did that on Monday. He came over. I said, Mayor, at this point, you can just take a big plate.
I mean, these little plates to me don't make any sense. But now I've learned that if you consume too much, it's not good for you either. So try different things, which is what I'm doing. I'm tasting small plates.
But I'm looking forward to your show, especially now as we move into fall and the holiday season and all the things that happen. Right? It always starts with Halloween. You got Halloween candy, and then you move into Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's and holiday parties and cookies. Then you make this New Year's resolution in January, and Girl Scout cookies come out in February. Next thing you know, you've missed that whole window of I'll do it tomorrow, the Mañana syndrome? Do it tomorrow, do it tomorrow. Next thing you know, it's 4 months later. What did it say? The average person gains 5 pounds a year. And if you look at that over the course of 10 years, every 10 years, you're up 50 pounds. Yeah. That's significant. Significant what it does to our joints, to everything.
I'm impressed with the fact that you now have a different outlook of things for yourself, which it starts there.
Yeah.
And now we can sit back and learn the difference between what used to be and what it is now. You know, people in Florida, they come down here are exactly in the same position that you're in. Kids are leaving. You know, it's funny, Linda and I have this humongous house because we had 3 kids. And those 3 kids took a lot of room.
Sure.
And they're all gone. And all of a sudden you look around, you go, wow, there's nobody here. And you still got the big house, so you get the cat, you know? so you have a lot to offer because you just changed the page and you're wearing it. You're not just saying it, you're living it, which is really important. And she wears it well.
Thank you.
That's a commercial. Remember growing up? She wears it well. It was like for perfume. Gina Tay?
Gina
Is that
Tay.
it? Oh my gosh, that's like old school.
We're dating ourselves,
Totally dating ourselves, I know.
Old school works. I was told the other day, you do things the old way. I go, no, I do things the old ways that make money. Got very upset with her. Old school is not bad school. It's just a different way of doing things.
So I like the well-nourished soul, so tune in for that coming up. Hopefully we'll start in a couple weeks.
Yeah, probably November because I'm traveling again.
You're traveling
I'm heading
again.
to Denver next week for a wedding. And then it's already Parents' Weekend at college, which is crazy. So I'm heading up to Boston. And then
they got a Parents' Weekend
at college? Yeah, usually about like 2 months in, they invite all the parents up to make sure their kids are alive and doing okay.
They do it in the fall, so it's not as hot, right? You see the change of seasons, even in Gainesville. It was beautiful to go in November.
Yeah.
She's in Boston.
The little one's in Boston,
She loving it?
She's at Suffolk University. It's right on the Boston Commons. She's got a front row seat, she's on the 5th floor. Her bed is the whole length of the window. So she's watching like the leaves change in the Commons and she's having a great time.
She loves it. What's her major?
She loves it. Marketing and business.
Nice.
Yeah, she's doing she got into like their honors business school, so she's doing a 5-year undergrad and MBA. So
wow.
She's not coming home. I already know it. No one's coming back to Florida.
You get to downsize and do your thing.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break. Josh, you can get a chair.
He sits on the floor.
No, he's sitting on the floor. All right, stay tuned. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we've got some good news. See what our good news channel has to produce. 888-994-4995 Studio A. We'll be right back.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Stephanie Jaffe is a world-renowned artist who creates one-of-a-kind pieces. Using a keen sense of color and composition, her vibrant collages and mosaics integrate eclectic elements such as vintage keepsakes and fine china with blown glass and fired clay to create whimsical arrangements. For more information about her work, come down to the Brooklyn Cafe TV studio or go to stephaniejaffeart.com.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits, a world where pirates inspire our spirits, treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. The distillery became one of the few women-owned craft spirits production sites in the U.S. From our award-winning spirits of vodka and rum to delicious gin, we're always coming up with some new and exciting flavors to keep your cocktails delicious and fresh. Contact Palm Beach Distillery at lostharborspirits.com to take a tour or purchase your favorite spirit at your local liquor store.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
Call 855-348-5925. That's 855-348-5925. Again, 855-348-5925.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives.
I'm a divorced single mom, and my ex-husband left me and the kids with a lot of unpaid bills, including unpaid taxes. I was really starting to show my stress on my kids because the IRS had sent me a letter demanding a huge payment from me. I couldn't afford it. So then the IRS was threatening to garnish my wages. I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. That would have put me over the edge financially.
It truly seemed hopeless, but then a friend at work told her to call the tax relief line.
The people at the tax relief line, they told me about something called innocent spouse relief. They worked it out so that all of the taxes from my ex are not my problem. I don't know how that works, and I don't care. All I care about is that I don't owe the IRS a dime, and they are not going to take my paycheck.
Even if it seems hopeless, you should call the number on your screen right now. There is absolutely no cost for the call or the consultation. You are under no obligation. If you are worried that the IRS could garnish your wages, seize your assets, even take your home, call us right now. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now, you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. So today for good news, we have a few things to talk about. So first, we have Tokyo is requiring new homes to have solar panels from 2025, apparently. And I don't have a photo of that, but just envision it. The next fact is male dolphins have wingmen, apparently. So apparently it said that male bottlenose dolphins, whatever that means, have been found to form lifelong bonds and assist one another with the task of finding a mate. And the last fact of the day is Miss England contestant is first to compete without makeup. She's a 20-year-old Melissa Ralph, how you pronounce it. Apparently in the 94 years of the competing, she is the first contestant to compete without makeup. So that's all I have for today. Back to you.
Together for it.
Yeah, I didn't know we were doing the news today.
This has been a good news segment.
Yes, we had to put a whole thing together.
No.
It
I
wasn't
forgot
that
what it was.
slogan.
I got to go back and look for it. The
Yeah,
slogan?
The slogan wasn't that. It was something.
Whatever it is, we're going to put a transition together for it and an
Yeah.
out for it.
Yeah.
The amazing thing is, I didn't know you could have a contestant enter something without makeup. I didn't know it was such a big deal.
How cool is that, though? It kind of goes right back to your point of all the pressures that we face every day.
And didn't they get rid of the swimsuit
Yes,
a while ago?
that's done.
All right, that's
It's
good.
interesting.
Now they put on dresses that look like swimsuits.
Yeah, well.
There's not a whole lot left to
Gotta have a
it.
little loving.
Right? I love it. Why can't women just be women? Why do we have to, do all that?
It's very interesting.
I gotta tell you, all kidding aside though, I've seen women before and afters. Like the makeup artist people have gotten really, really good with shadows and things of that nature. You sort of say, who's that?
You
Is
don't
that the
recognize
same
them.
woman?
It's true.
I mean, holy smokes.
Yep.
And I'm talking about, they do all sorts of things now.
But a lot of it goes back to media, and if you can break that media stigma of what is like. I was watching an old J-Lo movie last night with Chelsea. I think it was called, I don't know, Monster-in-Law?
Yes.
Right? And she says, oh, well, my son likes his women thin. And you see her put her fork down. And it's like it just gave me this pit in my stomach of, yeah, they like you thin, you shouldn't eat. It's just like this old programming that we've carried with us that you just shouldn't eat it. You just
J-Lo
should be
can
thin.
look any which way she wants.
Yes, she can.
And she carries it.
But
well.
it was the comment from the mother-in-law that it's this old program, these triggers that women have.
Yeah.
At least I do.
Yeah,
Of
it's true.
food triggers. And it's like, got to put it down.
Like it's
Don't
not
eat
okay
it.
to eat. Like we've been
Right.
told that a woman cannot eat. It's not okay.
Well, I'm here to tell you all that is wrong. You can eat as much as you want.
I love to watch you eat, though.
Everybody loves to watch. My sister, when you meet her, she sits there and looks at me. And she will tell you, watch him eat. I said, Mimi, don't do that.
You enjoy. You had chicken wings and some macaroni salad
I
yesterday.
ate the bones.
And he's like, here's the phone. You make a phone call. You make the phone call. You enjoy. Miss Slick used to enjoy to eat also. Slowly, he would pray over his food a little bit of a time, then he'd put it away, and he'd come back and finish it. And it was like a whole slow process. Look how thin Slick was.
You have to enjoy your life.
Yes.
Don't worry about what you look like.
This includes
Because ain't
food.
nobody, I gotta tell you, if you're great to be around, everybody's gonna be wanting to be around you no matter what. No matter what. It's not ever gonna change. And don't let anybody take any rent to rent any space in your brain. Just be you, man. Just have a little good time.
Problem is women don't believe that. That's the problem.
Well, I'm gonna wear a shirt that says, believe this.
I like it. Believe this.
Change the stigma.
And it's only gonna change if you believe it.
100%.
And
I agree.
And again, I mean, I like certain people. It's funny because you and I are always looking at people. Who do you think is beautiful? You always ask.
And you don't think anyone is.
Because they all are. I'm not going to judge somebody because they have long hair and they're this. I'm not going to do that. I've met beautiful women and they open their mouth and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Was that English?
Then they're not so beautiful.
It's
They're
true.
not. The same thing with guys.
Yeah.
A lot of guys. Florida. Start the land of not so nice.
You know, it's really funny because all the fairy tales, you want this tall, good-looking Prince Charming who's everything, and then they open their mouth and they're not. If you had your everyday average guy who's good to you, who treats you well, who's everything, and they're not Prince Charming, you're so much better
Prince
off.
Charming, I mean, that's all relative, right?
High maintenance.
It's the things that we learn as we get older.
Yeah, well, I had this conversation with my middle one. Like she'll always tell me, like when she meets my boyfriends in the past, oh, he's not so cute. He's not so cute. I'm like, look, it's not about the outside package. It's about the inside. Like, what kind of human being? How does he treat you? So it's gonna take her a while to get there. She's still young, but
this is the trick.
Things that you learn.
A single woman that has kids, forget about you. You gotta get the kids to love you. So you always put the woman on the side. I'll get to you in a minute. But the family, when you get the kids to love you, then you got a chance. It ain't about marrying her. It's about keeping her. That's the name of the game. And the food has a lot to do with it. I used to go on dates and nobody would eat anything. And I used to say, excuse me, is the food no good? I'm just very nervous. You better eat because we're going to have a good time here. And if you're not eating, there's something going on upstairs.
But you're different than most guys.
I'm not different. Every guy wants to do this.
Is that true, guys?
Guys are afraid to tell the truth.
Garcia, when you take a date out, you want them to enjoy and eat. You eat.
You eat.
We eat a lot. Look at him. Look how happy he is.
And you're going to take it to a place where you're going to enjoy eating, right? And it says, you know, eat. Don't think that I'm watching you or judging you.
Where's the best first date food place to go?
Oh, that's a fun game. Where's the best?
Hot pot.
Hot pot?
Hot
On a
pot.
first date? That's hard with all the noodles.
I love that. Get the noodle juice all over you. Let's see if you can sustain
Josh,
that.
best first date food place.
I have no idea. I guess my favorite type of food is Mexican food, so I'll say that. Going to a Mexican food place.
Well, that's good.
That's a good
Mexican is good.
Military. What's the best first date food place? Checkers.
What?
Checkers is good. I'm Italian. Not first date, but it's good.
Their fries are good, I guess, but
You guys are making me hungry. Nabil, what do you think? Hot pot too? IHOP. Oh, IHOP's good.
First date?
Why not pancakes?
The best, most impressive thing is your casa. You're
Really?
gonna invite them to your house?
Not now.
Not on
you
a
don't
first
so much.
date.
Why not?
Because you could
There's
be a
no
creep.
girl that's going to your house on a first date.
I go to her house and cook dinner at her house.
And then you need
First
PI
date?
Network
And
to
then I'll
scope it out.
clean and everything.
you might
What-
show the wrong incentive
Why?
bringing them
'Cause I'm
over to your
cooking for-
house.
Oh,
Because you want something
okay,
else.
so I'll cook in her house. No, I don't want nothing. I just want to have a good meal. And I want to impress her with my gourmet style.
Culinary skills.
What's your specialty?
Me,
What's your go-to?
whatever Presidente has, I put it out. I put it here, put it there. I do Latin food, believe it or not. My mother used to use spaghetti and chicken together. I don't know if you guys do that. And it was Italian, Puerto Rican style. And I have fun with it because if you do things a certain way with rice and beans, or you do certain things with pork, with pulled pork and things, and you watch people eat, they're like, oh, this is different. Like corned beef in a can. They laugh at me. It's delicious. When I make it, you would love it. Trust me when I tell you this.
We shall see.
Mimi comes, she's going to make the corned beef, and she puts plátanos in it. The sweet banana.
I'm
You
so
don't have to have
excited.
a
His
hand.
sister's
What are you
coming.
talking about? Like spam in a can? Is that what we're talking
No, I'm talking about
Corned beef hash?
the corned beef hash that you eat.
Like
they have it in a
Hormel?
can, like
That's-
Hormel.
it comes
Hormel says corned beef
okay.
in a can.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with spam. Let me tell you something. At midnight, white rice, an egg, and a piece of spam on top. Have you ever had it?
I can't say I've ever had spam.
Well,
no.
I'm going to tell you, when you have that, because you heat up the spam, you're going to say, this ain't bad. I will lay $1 if you take one bite. This ain't bad.
Only $1? No.
Because you're going to tell me you don't like it on purpose.
No.
All right, more to come. Rebecca, for more information and your website, all your coaching tips.
Website, RebeccaKastinCoaching.com. Same Instagram, Facebook, also Rebecca Kastin. And over on my Facebook, I've got a lot of free swag, diets, meal plans, all kinds of things. So just come on over and just download them.
Check it out. New show coming up next month, The Well-Nourished Soul. Thank you to Josh Martin, who's going to take us out with a little bit more music. Come on down to the studio tonight at 7 o'clock for the J.C. Dreesen Show live. Cafe Night Train at 7:30. More to come. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Don't be late.
And go and get yourself some cheap sunglasses. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know how to
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.